What's up, fight fans? Mr. Mustache here. Next Saturday, we got Bryce Mitchell taking on Dan Ige in the co-main event. An extremely exciting featherweight matchup where Dan Ige, who's now riding a two-fight win streak, most recently over Nate Landwehr, and before that he finished Damon Jackson. And you got Bryce Mitchell, who's now making his return since his lopsided first professional loss to Ilia Topuria back at UFC 282. Technically, it wasn't really his first loss. He got finished, I think it was by Brad Katona over in the Ultimate Fighter. I'm not sure if he was finished. I'm pretty sure he was finished. I'm pretty sure he got choked out. But nonetheless, he started off his UFC career, just absolutely dominant, beating guys like Bobby Moffitt, Matt Sales, Charles Rosa, Andre Fili, and just dominating Edson Barbosa. And then he ran into Ilia Topuria in a fight where he just got stopped, ran through, and just a phenomenal looking Ilia Topuria, and since then, Bryce, he had a really nasty neck injury. I'm not really sure what he tore, but it looked like literally his entire neck and shoulder was just fucking purple. So he had a really nasty injury, which didn't even seem to be all that long ago. But now he's making his return. But now without a little bit of controversy now with his return, right? He's come out. Apparently his ex-girlfriend has vandalized his property, threatening to kill his girlfriend, him, his dog. I think his wife, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if his wife is with him right now in Vegas. I'm not really necessarily sure. But if she's back home, while all this is happening, I'm sure he's pretty freaked out at the moment. He even made a video basically asking for all the local people to help out with his property while he's away because apparently she poisoned all of his fruit trees and ruined his farm and did all this other crazy nonsense shit. There was even another video that she posted where she tried to make him look like an aggressor, trying to get into her house for stealing his dog. And it was just bad. And I'm feeling for the dude. And it sucks that this is happening to him. She's sabotaging him, obviously, right before his fight to make sure he loses and just to get into his fucking head and pay back. And it sucks because if something does happen, the loss is going to be blamed on that. But if he goes out there and prevails and wins, I think it'll look even better. But he's going against a guy like Dan 50k Ige, who is just so well-rounded, so powerful, great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. He's got one-shot knockout power, 32 years old, thick in his prime, gone against the who's who. He had that loss. Who was it to? No, he lost 3 in a row. I forgot. Yeah, he lost to Zombie, he lost to Josh Emmett, and he lost to Movsar Evelev. And fights that were so damn close, tooth and nail. Just grit and grind, and he just got edged out in a lot of close decisions. And now he's finally found himself back in, I guess you could say, the same position that he was before the losing streak. And I think Dan Ige is just as dangerous as any guy in the featherweight division. And for Bryce Mitchell, coming off of such a devastating loss, where he was even talking about not coming back anymore, all the stuff going on in his personal life, this is a tough test for Bryce. And, if he can go out there and pass this test, I think the sky's the limit again for the future of Bryce. He's right back on track, right where he was before the Ilia Topuria fight. But in this, he's going to have to fight smart, defensively, keep his hands up, and hopefully get the fight to the ground. He's going to have to use his top pressure, his wrestling. But the thing is, he's going to have to make Dan miss early. He's going to have to go out there, use phenomenal footwork, head movement, and just be able to make Dan miss to open up these takedown attempts, right? He's going to have to use phenomenal timing. He's going to have to fight a damn near perfect fight to get Dan to the ground and to be able to control it on the ground as well. Because Dan's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, good in his own right, world class at everything. Dan is what you call a mixed martial artist. Very fucking good. And Bryce Mitchell, so far with his career, he's what you would call a grappling specialist. He hasn't really rounded out the hands as much, but with his threat of the takedowns and his threat of the wrestling and all of that, that definitely opens up the striking. It showed that in his win against Edson Barbosa. But I think it's so compelling, man. But Bryce, he's got so much question marks going into this. His health, his personal life, just where his head is at personally, to where you see Dan Ige, his head seems to be in the right place almost all the time, win or lose. So I think really that's going to be the deciding factor of this fight. I think maybe Bryce's health as well because of that neck injury. That looked like a really nasty neck injury if that was legit. I don't know what it was, what he tore his entire fucking backside, but I think Dan's smart too. I mean, Dan's key to victory is just to be on point with his takedown defense, keep Bryce off of him and pick him apart, and just uses his striking, his boxing to just keep Bryce at bay and to just maybe find himself a later finish, round 2, round 3, or maybe even grind himself a decision victory. And Bryce, I mean, his keys to victory is obviously just get it to the ground, use his top pressure, find himself a submission, hopefully sooner than later. But guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this phenomenal featherweight matchup upcoming next Saturday in the co-main event. I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this matchup and the return of Bryce Mitchell, and then the next fight for Dan 50K Ige. I'm so excited for this matchup. And guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.